You know, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with President Biden and lawmakers this week, trying to shore up more support for his country's war against the Russian invasion. Now, Biden announced another $325 million aid package during that visit, but some members of the Republican caucus in Congress are challenging more continued support. We want to welcome back in the Ukrainian Ambassador to the United States, Oksana Markarova, this morning to talk more about this. You've had a whirlwind a couple of days, Ambassador, and we welcome you back to the program. You were with President Zelensky at the White House and also at the United Nations. The visit was a little bit different than the last time he was here. Is Ukraine still as confident about U.S. support as it was the last time President Zelensky came here to the U.S.?
Well, in short, I would say yes. It was a very good, productive visit, not only in Washington, D.C., but as you said, in New York, we had a lot of bilateral meetings, not only the speeches of President Zelensky, but in Washington, just in one day, not only we had very good, productive discussions with both Speaker McCarthy and leaders in the House, but also the leaders and many, many members of the Senate. And it was a good discussion, and I think we have covered a lot of ground, and President Zelensky could describe in person, you know, something that it's difficult to do on the phone, where we are on the battlefield, why the victory is actually in sight, how we can do it together. So it wasn't about, you know, give us the support. It was about how we can do it together. And then not only the meeting at the White House, but the president spoke at the archives. It was very important for him to go and lay flowers at the Pentagon Memorial. So he has covered a lot of ground during this visit.
President Biden announced $24 billion back over in August, $325 million in Ukrainian aid just during this last visit. There are people here in the United States that look at that money and say, we have needs here in America. We've got poverty concerns. We have violent crime in our streets. We have a whole host of problems. What do you say to the folks that say all of that money needs to stay here in the U.S. to take care of American problems?
Well, the majority of the money that U.S. taxpayers generously provide to the Ukraine cause actually stay in the U.S. Yes, we're getting the goods, you know, the weapons, all the support that we need. But it's the American companies that produce it for us. So I just, a month ago, 2 months ago, visited Lima, Ohio, you know, where the Abramses are produced for us, and spoke with the workers. And, you know, they felt very proud that they are helping to fight for the democracy, but also there is more job there. So, you know, we have to do it together to mend the broken business ties, not only between Ukraine and the U.S., but also between all other civilized countries, so we can go back to the prosperity time again. And also I want to notice that it's not only about giving us the weapons. Note that President Biden announced that we are actually discussing the co-production and more close cooperation between our industries.
Is all this money, is all this weaponry and aid, is it working to stop Russia and push Russia out of your country right now?
Absolutely.
Is it money well spent, I guess, is the question.
Well, there are two parts to that question. One, is it working? Yes. These weapons actually are helping us to save lives. It's the Patriots, it's the Abramses, it's the Bradleys, it's everything that the U.S. is providing is helping us to save our children from the brutal aggression and liberate them. And also we spend it in a very transparent way. Your inspector generals are checking it. We are sending all the reports. The audit has been done for the past many months, you know, and every dollar that U.S. taxpayers are giving us, we really value and treasure it, and we spend it in a very accountable and transparent way.
Now, obviously, as a foreign country, you have to, you know, work with both sides of our political system in this country right now. Are you concerned, though, that some members of the Republican Party right now who are pushing back on more Ukrainian aid may be able to prevail and stop these increases that Ukrainian officials, especially President Zelensky, have said is critical to maintain this fight?
It's critical to maintain that fight, and it's critical for us to maintain bipartisan support, which we really appreciate. And both parties have been so you know, generous in their understanding also that this fight is very important not only for Ukraine, but for the U.S. national interest. So look, people can have different opinions. We are ready to answer any questions. But I feel the support from the American people regardless of which party they are from. And both American parties are founded on the idea of freedom, bravery, dignity, on the ideas that this country is founded on, and the idea for which we are fighting right now on the front line.
Obviously, when Russia first invaded your country, there was a tremendous amount of attention across the globe, and especially here in the United States, and a lot of sympathy for what was going on. It's been now a long time that you have fought this fight. Are you concerned that people's attention will start to slip, and the support that you gained early on when Russia first invaded your country will begin to evaporate as time marches on?
Well, Tom, thanks to you and so many other brave reporters that we still have in Ukraine and on the front lines who are telling the truth. The world knows what's happening there. And I think, you know, as I said, it's important not only for us. When people in the U.S. see that our children are being abducted to Russia, that our civilians have been tortured, raped, and killed, our cities have been leveled down, can we all live in the world where something like this can happen, from an autocratic, aggressive power to a peaceful neighbor?
I guess the point there is that if Americans are starting to feel, you know, fatigued about all this, put yourself in the feet of the Ukrainian people who have had to deal with this each and every day since Russia rolled its tanks over your border. Do you get tired of this as well, too? Because you've watched, you know, your country, your family put up with this, people that you work with as well. How do you maintain your energy and your ability to press this case?
I don't have the right to get tired. When we win, we will all have the right to live normal lives. But right now, when my country's survival and people's lives depend on all of us diplomats doing our work 24/7, we'll do it as long as we can, so that we can win together.
This latest package of aid that was announced by the president, you know, the $325 million and that $24 billion, what is that going to go to, and what is that going to be able to allow Ukraine to do? We have seen an increase, especially in drone operations from Ukraine inside Russia's borders.
Yes, so it's the presidential drawdown, so it's not the money that is going to be spent, but it's the weapons that we will get, which you already have in stock. And the majority of that is going to be artillery, so much needed, the air defense, so much needed, some of the machinery, so everything that our defenders need on the front lines right now.